Welcome to another video of Personal Finance Logics, and today's video is about teaching money management to children. As a parent, you teach your children a lot of things from a young age till they move out. Teaching children about money management is probably the most important, and that is what I am going to talk about today. CNBC reported that a little over 70% Americans are financially stressed out as an adult. I think the roots of this problem go to the childhood education. Most parents don't even discuss money management with their children. I am not at all saying that you start telling them every small detail about your finances, but make a positive start. Decide that you will educate your children about money management. It will help them grow into responsible adults, and who knows, the future CNBC survey finds less stressed out Americans. In today's video, I will give you 5 tips for teaching money management to your children. But here is a very basic point that you need to know. Children follow their parents as role models. So, for example, teaching them to be polite with others will not work if they find you yelling at all times. In the same way, if you tell them anything about money management, then make sure that they see you practicing it yourself. Want to be a good parent, be a good role model. So here are my 5 tips for you. Number 1, start talking to your children about money. This is the very first thing you need to do. Decide to talk about money with your children. Research shows that from age 7, children start developing an understanding of money. But here you have to be a smart parent and understand the nature of talk that you would have with children. Of course, children cannot understand the financial problems, job market, and economic situation, but you can start with the basics. Tell them if you want to have something, you will have to earn it. You will have to buy it. You should have money to pay for it. Just the basics. Now, many would say, why is it really important? As parent, many think that I don't want to burden my children with topics like finance and money management. The result being that majority of the children have no idea of money management and finances till they get to their first jobs. Or even more seriously, get into a serious argument over demand of an expensive gadget. Let me share with you a research finding from Go Henry. It revealed that lack of early financial education can have serious consequences later in life. Over 51% of people who were educated on financial education as a child had cash savings of up to $5,700. And the ones who did not receive any financial education said that they didn't have any savings. I am sure now you are convinced that teaching children about money management is very important. It gives them knowledge and confidence. Skills learned at an early age give them a financially secure future. My advice: start doing it today. Second tip, start giving them an allowance. Depending on your income and age of children, you can decide for an allowance for them. Allowance for an 8-year-old will have to be different than that for a 15-year-old. Amount of allowance is totally up to your income and your choice about how much do you want to give. But Investopedia has some guidance on giving allowance to children. A commonly used rule of thumb is that you pay $1 or $2 million multiplied by the age of child per week. So, an 8-year-old can either get $8 or $16 per week, and a 15-year-old will get $15 or $30 per week. My advice at this point will be to start with a weekly allowance till you are sure that your children are financially responsible enough to manage a monthly allowance. You can make another choice here. Just hand them the allowance, or you can split it into regular allowance and incentive or reward allowance. Regular one is simple, and you can pay any amount per week. For the incentive or reward allowance, you can tie it with certain chores and behavior. Keeping a tidy room for every day of the week will earn them $5 on top of regular weekly allowance. Being polite with siblings and following the no yelling rule can also earn them extra allowance. Trust me, a little incentive can make children do a lot of positive things. Make sure that you accompany your kids while they spend their allowance. It is a good time to teach them about making choices while spending money. Of course, they don't need to buy grocery items, but they may want some candy or other eatables of their choice. Help them understand that what choices they have within their allowance. Do understand one thing here. Don't control them from day one in their spending. Let them make their choices and let them spend. Take a gradual approach here. Start telling them about making healthy choices. Show them the options and encourage them to decide on what they want. They will learn what they really want and what they might need. This difference will be a positive lesson for them. So, my final word on this tip is, start giving them an allowance and help them make good choices. My third tip, emphasize saving. The third thing you need to teach your children about money management is the importance of saving money. Saving is something that children can learn easy if you are close to them and are aware of their wishes. Yes, it is that simple. If you know what your children want to have once they are at the supermarket for spending their allowance, you can teach them about saving. You see, children will like a lot of things, and many will cost beyond their allowance. Your child can pick up a toy and would want to buy it. You can tell the price difference. And this will be the time to start teaching about saving. Let's say price difference between total allowance and price of toy is $6. You can educate your child that by saving $3 per week, he can pay for the toy after 2 weeks. For higher price differences, saving can be done for a longer period of time. This is an excellent way of teaching children about the importance of savings for fulfilling their wishes. They will learn the value of making decisions and then sticking to these decisions. If they lose heart midway, they won't be able to get the toy of choice. All because they did not stick to their decision of saving allowance. Let's take another example. This time it's a skateboard that costs $60. If the weekly allowance is $25, then it takes 4 weeks' allowance to buy it. But all the money cannot be saved as there are other things to spend on. What to do now? It's simple. Just sit with your child and try to reach an amount that can be saved on a weekly basis. Ask for a list of things that he considers absolutely necessary and things that can be let go. Write the prices of things that can be let go and cross them all. Saving per week in this manner is $10, so it will take 6 weeks to have money for the skateboard. You can guide that any impulse spending will result in less amount in savings and skateboard will be weeks away. Help your children make a chart of savings per week. This way they can see the record of savings and will be able to monitor their progress. Fourth tip, teach them budget making. Another very important thing for children to learn is budget making. After getting an allowance and learning to save, it is time to learn to make a budget. You must be aware that budgeting is the most comprehensive way to manage money. Tell your children about 3 things: income, expenses, and savings. They have a fair idea about all 3 by now, but sit them down and teach them about it. Let's say their income is $100 per month. You can teach them the 20% rule of saving, that whatever they earn, they must put aside 20% of it as savings. In this case, they need to put aside $20 per month. Their annual saving will $240. Now they have $80 for expenses, and counting 4 weeks in a month, they will have $20 per week. From here starts the tricky part. They are children, so they want things of their liking yesterday, so this is a great time to teach them living the budget. Start telling them about the difference between needs and wishes. Tell them to ask themselves a couple of simple questions. Do I really need this now? Can I live without this thing for another month? Answers to these basic questions will help them realize that they don't have the burden of paying the bills or running a house. So, they can adjust their expenses. You can also ask them to keep a track of their expenses. They can make a basic chart that lists expenses, and all they have to do is minus them from weekly income at the end of every week. You can teach them by showing a real-life example. Before going for grocery shopping, sit down with your children and tell them about your allocated budget for grocery. Then show them a list of items you want to purchase this month. If you don't make a list, start making one for showing your children. This way they will learn by example. Take them on grocery shopping and keep telling them about expense tracking while shopping. Moving on, they have their first jobs and have started earning. Sit with them and assist them in making budget based on their income. It's also time to guide them about financial hardships and fluctuating economic situations. The whole idea is to prepare them for future where they are financially secure. Fifth tip, let them make mistakes. Let children make mistakes. Sounds weird. Yes, I agree at first, but it is also a very important part of learning money management. You learn the most valuable lessons from your mistakes, so let your children have their share of mistakes. Great thing here would be that you will be with them when they make any mistakes. They will learn and will not repeat those mistakes in life. It all starts with giving them flexibility and allowing them to make decisions about spending their money. As a child, one needs to learn to live within budget, but it does not start this way. There are great chances that for the first time, all the allowance is spent on buying one toy. The money was supposed to last a month, but here is a new toy in the house. Now don't be crude and strict, but gently tell them that all money has been spent, so they will have to survive with the basics. Help them survive the month, but hold back all the fancy wishful things. This way they will learn to spend wisely. Be friendly with them so that they are able to talk to you and share their feelings with you. But stay firm about the financial discipline you are trying to teach them. So, these were my 5 tips for teaching your children money management. As a parent, you focus a lot on the grooming and development of your children, but make sure that money management is part of it. This will surely lead to a financially secure future. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell icon to stay notified of the latest videos. Thank you for watching.